Alright guys, so we have January 2022 paper 1, and the paper is a little bit, dark. Hope you don't mind. So what is 40? What percentage of 40 is 8? So 8 is the percent, right? What percentage? So what percentage? How much over 100 of 40 is 8? And that's kind of what we end up with here. So you have 4x is equal to 80, x is equal to 80 divided by 4, which is 20. The number 3.14063, which it looks like pi to me, but maybe it's not written correct to 3 decimal places, 1, 1, 2, 3. So it'll be 141 once this is over 5. So that's B. So if 4.3 multiplied by 0.37 is equal to that, then notice it's the same numbers, but the decimals are moved. So what we have to do is we have to look at this number and this number. We see that the decimal move one place this way to get this number. So I would have to move the decimal of the answer one place this way. So the decimal is there. So now let's look at this number. This number, the decimal places, in order to get this number, 370, this decimal place would have to move 1, 2, 3 spaces this way. So now in the answer, I would have to move 1, 2, 3 spaces this way, and I get 159.1. The first 3 common multiples of 3, 4, and 6 multiples are the bigger ones, fractions are the smaller ones. So the common multiples of 3, 4, and 6 would be D. You could see that in C, 3 can go into 8, and 4 can really go into 6 as well. So it wouldn't be C. If 350 is shared in the ratio 2 to 5, the smaller share is. So if I have a 2 to 5 ratio, that means that 2 out of 7 is the smallest share. So 2/7 of 350. Well, 7 5s are 35, and 2 5s are 10. So the answer is 100. Number 6, we have 40 students in a class. Girl makes up 60% of the class. 25% of the girls wear glasses. How many girls wear glasses in the class? So first of all, we have to find out how many girls are in the class. So we'll have to find out what 60% of 40 students. And remember, no calculators in a paper 1. So 6 4s are 24. So 24 students are girls. And how many students wear glasses? Well, 25%. So 25 over 100 multiplied by 24. And we could see that this is a quarter of 24. So 6 girls wear glasses. If the universal set U is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and H is 3, 4, 6, H complement will be everything but 3, 4, and 6. So it'll be 1, 2, and 5, B. So which of the following statements describe the set of integers greater than -3 but less than 6? So be careful with the signs. First of all, the signs are not like this. So there's not A. Right? You can see B and C all include this equal sign here. Well, first of all, the signs are not like that, right? The signs are like this. But they do have the equal sign because they say nothing about -3 or 6 being included in that. They said greater than -3, less than 6. The answer is D. If X and Y are 2 infinite sets such that the number of elements in X is 9, and the number of elements, so let's just see, we have X intersect Y, right? So that means that I'll have something looking like this, The number of elements in X intersect Y is 4, right? The number of elements in X, let me call this X and this Y. So X intersect Y is 4. The number of elements in X is 9, so that means I would have to have 5 outside here to make the 9 in X, right? And the number of elements in X union Y is 15. So the whole thing have 15 in it. So if this have 9 and this have 4, well then it'll just be 15 minus 9, which is 6. B. 6 and 4, that means that Y will have 10. And 5 and 4, that means that X will have, actually no. You see how they mess you up, right? So yes, it'll have 6 there because the union, X union Y, will have the full, so 5 plus 4 is 9 plus 6 is 15. So that whole thing there is 15, right? But how many in Y? Well, in Y, we'll have 6 in Y only, but then 4 in X intersect Y. So how much in Y will be actually the 4 plus the 6? Because the 4 is also in Y. It'll actually be 10. Watch how easy I almost get chain up there. Item 10 refers to the following Venn diagram. In the Venn diagram, X represents the set of factors of 12. All right. Y represents the set of factors of 9. So what are the factors of 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And what are the factors of 9? 1, 3, 9. Right? The shaded region represents the set of all factors of, well, the shaded region is the factors of both of them. So it will probably have 1 and 3 in there. So if you notice, inside of here, we have essentially the factors of 3. So it would be the set of the factors of 3. Number 11, the students in Teacher May's class have either a dog D or a cat C, or none of the two. All the students who have a cat, all right, so they either have a dog or a cat. They didn't say both, right? All right, so either a dog or a cat, or none of the two. So that means that there will be people in the universal set who have none, right? But they didn't say anything about people who have both. If the number of cats is 12 and the number of dogs is 16, which of the following Venn diagrams correctly represents this information? And I mean, you have 30 students in the class, right? So, 16 plus 12 is 28. You would have 2 on the outside. I mean, I see in B there. Yeah, it wouldn't be anything else. It certainly do have an intersection of people who have dogs and cats. So it wouldn't be anything with an intersection. It would have to be B. Which of the following pairs of sets is an example of a disjoint set? A disjoint set is pretty much like this: sets that do not intersect at all. So even numbers and odd numbers do intersect at all. And multiples of 2 and multiples of 3 do intersect with 6. 6 is a multiple of both. Whole numbers and rational numbers do intersect, because I could have 2 over 1, which is a whole number and a rational number. Multiples of 5 and multiples of 10, well, obviously those do intersect. So the only one that doesn't intersect are A. So if EC $2.50, so 250, and we'll have EC and US. So I see in one US, well, let me put the 1 to 250, right? So USEC, because it have 1 equals 250, 2.5, right? Then 20 ECUS, 20 EC in US dollars is going to be, right? Well, all right, I'll put it back the other way. EC to US, 250, 1 US. So 1 EC is going to be 1 all over 2.5, and the 20 EC will be 1 over 2.5 multiplied by 20 over 1. Well, 20 divided by 2 is 10, so it'll be a little less than 10, right? So 20 divided by 2.5 will be a little less than 10, so that'll be about 8. And remember, this doesn't have calculators, so you could feel free to use that kind of reasoning. Just make sure that it is logical reasoning, right? At a store, 3 cents on every dollar spent is charged as sales tax. How much is paid as sales tax on a costume which costs that? So 3 cents on every dollar spent. 3 cents on every dollar spent. So 3 cents out of every 100 cents is charged as sales tax. So that's 300 of the total cost, 196 all over 1, right? And so, I mean, essentially, we could see that this 3 over 100 is 0.03. So it's really 0.03 multiplied by 196. So what I'll do is I'll take 196 and multiply it by 3. 6 3s are 18, 9 3s are 27, 1 is 28, and 3 1s are 3 plus 2 is 5, so 588. But then I'll have to account for the 2 decimal places divided by 100, in other words, 1, 2. So $5.88. So how much is paid as sales tax on the costume, which cost that? Well, 588 of this is sales tax. The cash price of a television set is $350. When bought on hire purchase, a deposit of $35 is required, followed by 12 monthly payments of $30, right? So if I have $35 plus 12 monthly payments of $30, right? What'll I have? Well, 12 3s are 36, so that's $360 here, plus the 35, so that's $395. And so you can see there's a $45 difference there. So how much is saved by paying cash? $45 you'll save if you buy the TV one time. A company employs 20 persons as gardeners and clerks. The mean daily wage of all the employees is that. If each of the 12 gardeners is paid $26 per day, so the mean daily wage, the average daily wage is that. Company employs 20 persons, right? And the average daily wage is that. If each of the 12 gardeners is paid $26 per day, 20 persons as gardeners and clerks. So, okay, if each of the 12 gardeners is paid $26 per day, then the daily amount paid to each of the 8 clerks is. So, I mean, the mean for all, how do you find the mean for all for 20 people? You would have to add up the mean amount. You would have to add up all of the wages of 20 people and then divide it by 20, right, to get the mean, right? So, seeing that we have gardeners and clerks, right? You know we have 12 gardeners and we have 8 clerks. So 12 gardeners are paid $26, right? So $26 by the 12 gardeners. That is how much gardeners. So that's if I take 26 and I add it 12 times, right? Plus a certain amount for 8 clerks, right? Because that's how much the clerks are getting paid, all over 20. And that is going to be equal to the mean, 22.4. So we have a little bit of work in here to do. So 26 times 12, well, 26 times 10 is 260, plus 26 times 2 is 52. So 260 plus 52, this is 312. So 26 times 12 is 312. So 312 plus 8x is equal to 22.4 times 20. I throw the 20 across. So 22.4 times 20, and this is one of those heavy arithmetic questions, I guess. So we'll do 22.4 times 2. All right, well, 240. So 4 2s are 8. 2 2s are 4. 2 2s are 4. And then I will just put a point there. But then 20 means I'll have to move the point there. So that means that this on this side ends up being 448. 8x is 448 minus 312. So 8 minus 2 is 6. 4 minus 1 is 3. And then 1. So x is equal to 136 divided by 8. And well, especially when we do have a calculator, we could do a long division kind of thing. 136 divided by 8. So 8 can't go into 1, but 8 could go into 13 one time. So that is 8 there, and I'll put a 0 there. And so now I'll have 6, I'll have, well, 13 minus 8 is 5, 56, and well, 7 8s are 56. So $17, it looks like. There's real plenty working for this small little question, boy. But when you're doing it in your head, yes, you have to work fast. Delano invests $5,000 for 2 years in an investment scheme. I smell simple interest coming on. This looks like principal. This looks like time. The investment earns a compound interest of 8%. That looks like rate. What will be the amount Delano's investment at the end of a 2-year period? All right, so principal by rate by time all over 100. So zippity doo da, 8 2s are 16. Well, I could go 50 times 2 is 100, and then 100 times 8 is 800. So yes, what will be the amount of Delano's investment at the end of a 2-year period? Well, it'll be at the end of the 2-year period. He invests 5,000. He will get at the end of a 2-year period 800 again. So the amount of Delano's investment at the end of a 2-year period will be 5,800. The 800 just represents the interest he will receive, but not the total investment. What will be the amount of Delano's investment? A car presently valued at $12,000 depreciates at a rate of 10% per annum. What will be the value of the car after 1 year? 10 multiplied by 12,000. So we find in 10% of 12,000 will be 1,200. And then we have to take the 12,000 and minus the 1,200. So So 10 minus 2 is 8, 1 minus 1 is 0, 1. It looks like it'll be about that. A man's basic wage for a 40-hour work week is $160. He is paid $5 per hour for overtime. Right? So a man's basic wage for a 40-hour work week is $160. He is paid, so if 40 hours is 160, then each hour he is paid 160 divided by 40. 4 fours are 16, so that is $4 an hour he getting paid. He is paid $5 per hour for overtime. If he works 6.5 hours overtime in a certain week, so 6.5 hours, so $5 an hour multiplied by 6.5, right? So so that'll be 6 fives are 30, and well 6.5, well 6.5. We could say 6.5 multiplied by 5. 5 fives are 25. 6 fives are 31, 32, and then you have, right, so you have about 32.50 plus 160 what he got paid for the week. 2, yep, 6 and 3 is 9, 192. A salesman sells a car for $1,000. Is this the same car from the previous question? If he is paid a commission of 5% for the first 10,000, 8% in the remainder, then the total commission he receives is this. So for the first 10,000, so 5% of 10,000 is $5,000. That's real plenty worth. No, $500, sorry, because it's just 5 multiplied by 100. $500, and then 8% on the remainder. So the remainder is, so that'll be 8% of 500. 5 eighths are 40, so 540 is the commission he'll get. Althea normally saves X dollars each month, but in June she saved $4 more than twice her usual amount. So $4 more than twice. So if this is her usual amount, this is twice her usual amount, and this is $4 more than twice her usual amount. In June, she saved C. So we have a basic operations here. It's actually really, really easy. If M asterisk N is this business here, and that, if we look at it there, this is a cube and this is a square, right? Then 5 asterisk 12, well 5 is in the place of M and 2 is in the place of N. So you just plug those numbers in. So the root of 5 cubed minus 2 squared, right? Which will be the root of 5 fives are 25 times 5 is 125 minus 2 twos are 4, which will be the square root of 125 minus 4 is 121. And what we have to do here now is we have to recognize that 121 is actually 11 squared. So really this is the square root of 121 is 11 squared, and well, the square root will cancel with the square, and the answer is 11. So item 23 refers to the following diagram of a trapezium. The trapezium with height h has an area of x squared centimeters. So the whole trapezium has an area of x squared centimeters. The equation that may be used to find the value of x is, to find the value of x. Well, the area of a trapezium is a half, so the area of a trapezium is a half the sum of the parallel sides by the perpendicular height. So that is a half the sum of the parallel sides, which is 2 plus x minus 4, right, multiplied by h, which is a half of x minus 2, because 2 minus 4 is minus 2 over h, which you could see as h on 2 into x minus 2. Yes, you can say that. Do I have that there? H on 2 into x minus 2, yes, that is what we have. And of course, x squared is a. Yeah, x squared is the area, so the area there is x squared. H on 2 into x minus 2, anything else? No, that's it. 26. If that minus that is 0, then what is y? Well, we have a little distributive law to tackle here. So we have 5 times y is 5y minus 5 times 2 is 10. And this minus 3 going to be minus 3 times y is minus 3y. And minus 3 times plus 4, 4 3s are, that'll be minus 12. So what will I have? I'll have 8y. No, sorry, not 8y, because it's 5y minus 3y, so that'll be 2y. Minus 10 minus 12 is minus 22 is equal to 0. So therefore 2y is 22. Y is 22 over 2, which is 11. Item 27 refers to the following vectors p and q. The vector p minus q is represented by, well, p minus q will be 3, 7 minus the minus 2, 5, and 3 minus negative 2, that'll be 3 plus 2, and 3 minus 7, 7 minus 5, so I have 7 minus 5, so 3 plus 2 is 5, 7 minus 5 is 2, so 5, 2 is what we're talking about there. So we have the parallelogram 28, which refers to the following diagram of a parallelogram in which EF is parallel to HG, EH is parallel to, so I see we have a whole bunch of parallel stuff there. It is a parallelogram, of course. EF, I'm seeing EF here, is parallel to HG, right? And EH is parallel to FG. Notice the directions as well. EF is small k, and EH is small m. EG, which is this, E to G. In terms of k and m, well, it already is a parallelogram. And if this HG is parallel to EF, then this will be k. So it will be m plus k, or k plus m. You could do it the other way. You could do k here plus, because this is parallel here. So this will be m. So k plus m will definitely work. Five xy is equal to that, then the value of x and y are, well, imagine 5 times x is 5, x will be equal to 4 times 10 is 40, so therefore x is 8, and well, we can see b being the answer, but let me check. 5y is equal to 4 2s are 8, so that is 80, so y will be 80 divided by 5, which is 16. Yeah, so it will be B. Item 30 refers to the following matrices A and B. The matrix product of A and B is, well, matrix A is a 2 by 3 and matrix B is a 1, 2, 3 by 2. So yes, they are multipliable. So the first row by the first column will give me the AB, which is 1 times 3 is 3 plus 3 times 2 is 6 plus negative 3 times 0 is 0. Right? So I have that. I'll take that and multiply by the second column. So 1 times 0 is 0 plus 3 times 1 is 3 plus negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. Let me just bring this a little bit more on this side over here. And so now this one here, by the first column, 3 3s are 9 plus 0 plus 0. And then we will have this by the second column. So 3 times 0 is 0 plus 0, because 0 times 1 is 0, plus 5 5s are 25. And so AB is equal to 6, 7, 8, 9. 3 minus 15, anything with 9, so we have this here. And well, 3 minus 15 is negative 12. We have 9 here, we have 25 here. The answer is D. 31. If it took a speedboat 9 hours to travel a distance of 1080, what is the average speed in kilometers per hour? So speed is distance moved over time taken. So that is that kilometers over that amount of hours. And well, we will get here about 120, because we know that 12 times 9 is 108. So add a 0 and add a 0 there, and you'll get what you're looking for. 32 refers to the following diagram of a trapezium. I could see a trapezium there. It looks very pretty. The perimeter of the trapezium in millimeters is, so the perimeter, oh my god, I have to do a whole bunch of adding without a calculator now. How wonderful. So 0.41 plus 0.21 plus 0.18 plus 0.12. Well, 8 and 2 is 10, 11, 12. So that is 12. And 1 and 1 is 2, 3, 4 and 4 is 8 and 1 is 9. 0.92. Oh, this is in meters. Oh, yes, I was wondering how I'm not seeing 0.92 there. But they should have 0.92 here, though, just to chain up people like me, right? So that means that if this is meters, how many millimeters is that? Well, 1, 2, 3, that'll be 920 millimeters. If the circumference of the circle is 15 centimeters, so I'm just going to write that down one time. 15 is equal to, because 15 centimeters circumference is 2 pi r, right? Then the length of the minor arc AB. Right? So if the whole circumference is 15, right, then the length of the minor arc will be the fraction of the angle multiplied by 15. So it'll be B, 120 over 360. An aircraft leaves at 1600 hours, that's 4 o'clock in the evening, and arrives at 1930 hours. Right? So that is 16, 17, 18, 19. So that's 3.5 hours to get from A to B. Right? Traveling at an average speed of 550 kilometers per hour. A and B are in the same time zone. The distance from A to B in kilometers is, well, speed. The only thing I know about speed is distance moved over time taken. So an aircraft, so we can see the time is 3.5. So the speed is 550 kilometers per hour, and we'll have to multiply that by 3.5. So three twos are 6 and 1 is 7. So we'll multiply that by 7 on 2, which is 3.5. Right? And that'll give us the distance. So 550 divided by 2. If 500 divided by 2 is 250, then 550 divided by 2 is 275. You had to use that kind of reasoning when you don't have a calculator, right? And 275 multiplied by 7 now. So 275 times 7, well, 275 times 10 will be 2750. So I'm looking for something a little less than 2750. Well, they're all 2750 here. So let me do this the long way, right? 7 5s are 35, 7 7s are 49, 50, 51, 52, and 7 2s are 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 25. Item 35 refers to the following diagram, which shows a circle with center O, a sector, and a major and minor arcs indicated. Alright, so the major arc, this will be a minor arc here. Alright, the length of the major arc, FE, is 40 centimeters. What is the circumference of the circle? Well, if the major arc is 40 centimeters, then that means that because the major arc will be 300 degrees of the circle. So that means that 300 degrees of the entire circle, which is most of the circle, is 40 centimeters, right? So 300 degrees is 40 centimeters there. Now remember, that'll be 5/6 of the total circumference. So 5/6 of the total circumference is 40 centimeters, right? So therefore, the total circumference will be 40 by 6 divided by 5. So 6 4s are 24, 240 divided by 5. So, 200 divided by 5 is 40. So 240 divided by 5 will be, you will have an 8 in there. So 240 divided by 5 will be 48. Item 36 refers to the following diagram, which shows a cuboid. The volume of the cuboid is that. So volume is 320. And the height is that. If the cuboid has a square base, so square base as the cuboid, height is 5 centimeters. Right? And what is the length of one side? Well, the volume of a cuboid is the area of the base, which is side by side, multiplied by the height, right? And so since the side by side is a square, then side by side is s squared. So 5s squared is equal to the volume, which is 320, right? S squared will be 320 divided by 5. So 300 divided by 5 is about 60, because 6 5s are 30, right? So 300 divided by 5 is about 60. And then 20 divided by 5 is 4. So therefore, if I take 5 and multiply it by 64, 5 4s are 20, 6 5s are 30, 31, 32. Yeah, so that means that this is s squared is 64, and thankfully it lines up. So s will be the square root of 64, which is 8. The area of a triangle is 60 centimeters, and its base it's 12, right? What is the perpendicular height of the triangle? So perpendicular height, h, we could treat it like a right angle if we want, and the area is 12 centimeters. So the area of a triangle is a half the base times the perpendicular height. So wait. Oh, the area is 60. I know something was wrong there. So I have 60 here. Area of a triangle is 60. The base is 12. So I have 60 is equal to 6h. So h will be about 10. A square has the same area as a rectangle with sides of 9 centimeters and 16 centimeters. So a square. So I have a rectangle, 9 and 16. What is the length of the side of the square? So 9 and 16, I could find the area. So 16 times 9, right? So 6 times 9 is 54. 1 times 9 is 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh gosh, 144. So if a square has 144, then this will have to be 12 and 12. So what is the length of the side of the square? 12. Statistics now, the upper limit of the modal class. So this table refers to a frequency distribution which shows the average mass in kilograms of a group of children in school. So this is the mass and this is the frequency. The upper limit of the modal class is, so the modal class is the one that's most popular, which is 40, as the one that has the highest frequency, and the upper limit of that is 60. How many children have a mass greater than 40 kilograms? Well, we could see that 24 kids plus 40 plus 18 will be heavier than 40 kilograms. So it'll be 24 plus 40 plus 18. 8 and 4 is 12. 2 and 4 is 6, and 1 is 7, and 1 is 8. 82 kids are heavier than 40 kilograms. Refers to the following table, which was frequency scores obtained by students on a test. The modal score, another mode. Why are they testing modes twice? The modal score is, be careful, right? If these are the students and these are the frequencies, so this here is 12. Notice they have 12, but that is not the answer. That is 12 showing that this is the mode. It is the most popular because that is the most amount of students that got this score. So they ask for the modal score, and the modal score is 8. Which score? When they ask for the modal score, they are asking which score was most popular. Right? Refers to the following cumulative frequency curve, which shows the marks obtained by 200 students on a test. The median of the marks scored by 200 students is, well, 200 students, the median will be at about 100. So what is about 100? Because if it's 200 students, if this is 20, 40, 60, 80, this will be 100. 120, 140, 160, right? So going up to 100, so that is the middle of the 200 there, and coming down here is around so-ish. So do they have anything close to that? Well, they have 35.0, which will be this, so it's not that, it's 37.5. We have a bar chart which shows the ages of children who took part in a survey. For some reason, it seems to me like they just bring this exact same question every year. I don't know why. How many children took part in the survey? Well, this is the number of children here. So we can see that we have 3 plus 4, which is 7, plus 2, so that's 7, 8, 9. 9 and 5 is 14, and 1 is 15 students took part. 600 students write an examination. The probability of a randomly selected student failing the exam is 1 in 5. So 600 students, how many students are expected to pass the exam? Well, 4 out of 5 students are expected to pass the exam. So 4 out of 5 over 600. So 5, well, I know that 5 into 60 is 12, so this will be 120 there. And for 12 fours are 48, so that'll be 480. That was 44, this is 45. Which of the following equations represents a linear function? Well, we do not want x multiplied by y, that is not linear. We do not want x squared, that is not linear. So this is x squared, that is not linear. This here is linear. The set of ordered pairs below represents a relation that is a function. Which of the following points, when added to the set, would form a relation that is not a function? So this one is a function. And that means that when you have one value of x, you will get one unique value of y. So for every value of x, you will have one value of y. For every value of x, you'll have one value of y. But if I have the 0.28 here, that means that I have, look, this is our value of x, and this is the same value of x. But now I have two different values of y coming out of the same value of x. So that'll make it not a function. Yeah, because all of the others will be different values of x. So item 47 refers to the following arrow diagram. We have an arrow diagram here. The arrow diagram above describes the relation. Y is more than x. No, it's not. Y is not more than x. Y is a multiple of x. X is a multiple of y. It looks like that one because 8 is a multiple of 2 and 4. 9 is a multiple of 3. 10 is a multiple of 2. Yes. X is a multiple of y. X is not a factor of y. Okay. Y is a factor of x, but they don't have that here. What is the gradient of the straight line? Well, we have to put it in the form y is equal to mx plus c, and if we do that, we will get y is equal to negative 3 on 2x minus 8 on 2, and I don't really care about the 8 on 2. Negative 3 on 2 is the answer. So what is h to the minus 6? Well, that will be 3 times minus 6 minus 2 divided by 5. So 6 3s are 18, minus 18 minus 2 divided by 5, which is minus 20 divided by 5, which is negative 4. The range of the function f of x maps onto negative x squared for the domain. So the domain is the x value. So we could just do a xy here. Right? And we have the domain is the x values minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2. And what do we want? The range is the y values, and y, well, f of x is y, so this is x squared. So, it's minus x squared. So negative 2, well, all of the negatives will be squared. So negative 2 squared will be 4, and then I have the minus in front of it. So that'll be minus 4. Negative 1 squared is 1, then the minus in front of it. 0 squared is 0. 1 squared is 1, but I'll have a minus in front of it. 2 squared is 4, negative 4. Right, so you could see here that I have the domain being having the values negative 1, negative 4, and 0. The answer is B. A line L is parallel to the line that. What is the gradient of the line L? Well, the first thing I'll have to do is find the gradient of this. So what can I see here? If I throw across this and this, I will end up getting negative 5y is equal to negative 2x plus 8. And so y is negative 2 divided by negative 5. I'll have the x here is equal to, no, not equal to, plus. And while I don't really care about it'll be 8 divided by negative 5, I don't really care about this. I'm looking at this. So the gradient of this is 2 over 5. 2 over 5 multiplied by what will give me minus 1. 2 over 5 multiplied by negative 5 on 2. So therefore, no, line L is parallel to the line, not perpendicular, so I don't have to do the minus 1 thing. The minus 1 thing is for perpendicular lines, but parallel lines have the same gradient. So the gradient is 2 on 5, right? Parallel means it'll have the same gradient as this, which is 2 on 5. Number 52, the values of x at the points where y is equal to that intersects y is equal to 0 are. The values of x at the points where the values of x at the points where this y is equal to 4x minus x squared intersects y is equal to 0 is what are they trying to chain you up? The line y is equal to 0 is actually the x-axis. So when you intersect the x-axis, y is equal to 0. So 4x minus x squared is equal to 0. I could factorize this to give me x inside of 4 minus x is equal to 0. So I could see that x is equal to 0, and then I'll also have 4 minus x is 0, so x will be equal to 4. So x is 0 and 4, that is A. 53 refers to the following diagram which shows a translation. In the diagram, the translation by which AB is mapped onto A prime B prime is represented by. Well, that's pretty easy. We just have to watch one of the points here. So you can see that horizontally, I would have to move to go from 2 to 4. I would have to move 2 spaces horizontally. And to go from 5 to 6, I would have to move 1 space vertically. So 2, 1. And same thing here. I could see that that is true. So it would be a translation of 2, 1. Item 54 refers to the following transversal diagram in which P, Q, and RS are parallel. So P, Q, and RS are parallel. Which of the following statements best describes the relation between P and Q? Oh, well, P is equal to Q. These are alternate angles. Alternate angles are equal. 55. A ship sailed 8 kilometers due east from the point A. So from the point A, we have 8 kilometers due east. Right? And this is my north line here. And from A to B, so this will be B here. And then he sailed 6 kilometers due north. So due north 6 kilometers to C is here. Which of the following best represents the path of the ship? Well, we can see 8 kilometers, 6 kilometers, 8, 6, yep. It's C, A, B, C, yep. And let me just check. 8 kilometers due east from A to B, 6 kilometers north, no problem. Refers to the following diagram of a circle. So I've seen a circle there. If O is the center of the circle, then Y is. Oh, well, we know the center will be twice the circumference, so Y will be 100. So 57 refers to the following diagram, which shows the graph of the line y is equal to x. If the line y is equal to x is rotated anti-clockwise through 90 degrees, so it'll be like this, then the image is, this will be the line y is equal to negative x. 58, in triangle ABC, the angle A is x degrees and angle B is 2x degrees. What is the size of angle C? So if we have a triangle here, A, B, and C, A is x degrees, C is 2x degrees. No, sorry, B is 2x degrees, so C will be 180 minus x plus 2x, which is 180 minus 3x. 59 refers to the following diagram, which shows the angle of depression of a point x from the point Z is 35 degrees. That is the angle of depression. If x is 12 meters from y, then the height, so we want to find this, and we have to understand that this here, we take this to be parallel to the ground if we are looking at eye level. So therefore this will be 35, and so this will be the adjacent, and this will be the opposite. So we're talking about tan, TOA, right? So the tan of 35 is opposite over adjacent, the adjacent being 12, so I throw it across 12, tan 35 is the opposite, that is C. And lastly, item 60 refers to the following right-angled triangle. So which trigonometric ratio is equal to 4 on 8? So we have 4 on 8. Well, it depends on the perspective you take it from. If you take it from y, then 4 on 8 will be the adjacent over the hypotenuse, which is the cos of y. We don't have the cos of y here, so we had to take it from x. So if we take it from x, this will still be the hypotenuse, but this will be the opposite. So that will be the sine of x is opposite over hypotenuse, which is 4 on 8, which is A. So alright guys, hope that you all understood everything. Feel free to give me a call or a message, or we could even meet in class if you don't understand anything or you need an explanation of anything. And look out for the next video coming soon. See you next time.